Belfast Boxer in association with Northern Property and Peak Physique. I'm joined with Stephen Sharpe. Stephen, how's things, mate?
Good, and yourself?
Yeah, good, can't complain. So, Dominic Donegan returns tomorrow night on Mark Dunlop's show. How do you think he'll get on?
Dominic will be alright. We're looking forward to getting him back in, getting him back winning. We hit a bit of a bump in the road over in Luxembourg, but we know how good Dom is, you know. So yeah, just get him back in. He's made a couple of changes. He's looking very sharp. I was in the gym with him last week, and he's looking really, really good, really sharp, really fit. So yeah, look, let's thanks to Mark Dunlop for putting him on the show. So let's get in there and just get the win and move on then.
I just want to touch on that bump in the road, as you just said there with Dominic. It was an upset to everyone watching. Talk to me about what went wrong.
I think, first of all, he didn't lose the fight. So most logical people, all logical people looking at the fight who understand boxing, will acknowledge that he didn't lose the fight. But he allowed it to be too close. He allowed it to be too close as the away fighter. I mean, the judges had now kind of leanings towards him, you know. So he allowed it to be too close. If you look at the performance, he wasn't fit. You know, he wasn't as fit as he needed to be. And he just had an off day. Let the opponent into it. And the decision went against him. You know, but that happens. You know, and I think tomorrow night we'll see then. You know, sometimes fighters, they lose like that. They have that type of disappointment, you know, and it affects them negatively, or they bounce back from it, make the changes that they need to make. And Dominic has made them changes, you know. And I think people are going to see a different fighter tomorrow night.
Boxing Ireland has had 2 successful shows in mainland Europe, and you must be pleased of how the shows have turned out.
Yeah, they were good. Luxembourg and Spain and Alicante was a good show. You were over there. It's not what we want to be doing. It's not where we want to be. But obviously, you know, that's what was required. It's been a difficult 8 months for everybody, for boxing, for, you know, we've all just lived through a pandemic. But the idea and the hope now is, obviously, you know, we've a show announced for up here in Belfast. And then also I'm working, Dennis and Leonard are working hard on that at the moment, and I'm in the process of hopefully getting something announced for Dublin within the next week or two.
Talk to me about that. How's it going? Has it been successful so far, or has it been hard to get shows back in Dublin?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's, you know, there's a lot of things work. You know, particularly in the south of Ireland, there's an insurance issue that affects. It's a public indemnity insurance issue that affects anybody, you know, who's looking to run events. You know, and then it's just professional boxing hasn't the best of name down the south. So, you know, we do have difficulties getting venues, and the costs are really, really high. You know, you wouldn't believe the cost of trying to run a show down south compared to up here. But look, we've put the planning in. We're working closely with Martin Horgan. Martin ran a show in Cork, a professional boxing show. Kind of a collaborative piece with some Muay Thai on it as well 2 years ago. Really, really good show. So we've been working with Martin, and we're ready to announce the return of professional boxing to Ireland. To be the first show in South of Ireland in 2 years. So we're just waiting on the Boxing Union of Ireland to come back to us on a couple of things. But we're ready to go. Posters done, venues booked. We've already looking at some opponents. We know what fighters we're going to put on. So yeah, we're ready to go. Just waiting on the Boxing Union of Ireland to give us the go ahead.
Brilliant. If all things do go to plan, you touched on, you know, some of the boxers that you will be putting on the show. Give me a couple of names.
I was just talking to Kevin Cronin there 2 days ago, so we'll maybe look to do something with Kevin. Kevin has been progressing well. The likes of our own show here in Belfast in a couple of weeks. The likes of Liam Walsh is making his debut. Keane Doyle, Robbie Burke. So all them guys will box on the Dublin show. Eddie Tracy, Don. There's talk maybe of so there's lots of discussion around who's going to be on the show, and we're looking at trying to put a couple of Irish matches together as well.
Boxing Ireland returns to the Devonies just over 18 months, I believe. It's your first show back in Ireland. How much you looking forward to it?
Yeah, buzzing for it. In fairness, Dennis and Leonard are working like Trojans on that. It's not easy. It's not an easy task to put on a professional boxing show at the moment. Mark Dunlop will tell you that. It's really, really difficult trying to make the figures stack up, the restrictions, trying to get the venue right, the health and safety aspect of it. So really, really a lot of work. And Dennis and I are working hard on that at the moment. But yeah, it's good. I love the Devonish. We've had some really great shows up there over the last couple of years, and Dennis has done a really good job kind of pulling them together, making them happen. So yeah, can't wait.
Brilliant, Stephen. I'm not going to keep it too much longer, but I just want to touch on one thing. Me and you had a chat of it about off camera. Sponsors play a massive role within athletes and obviously supporting yourselves. How much has your sponsors helped you over the last 18 months?
Oh yeah, unbelievable. Like it doesn't happen, and people, again, some people don't understand the costs, but also people don't understand. Like, we don't have television, and particularly, I suppose I'm a real, I'm a dub, and like a lot of time when I'm speaking about professional boxing, I'm speaking about it from a southern, south of Ireland perspective, but it's just, I'd probably go and say it's not as important. Up in Northern Ireland, we have some really good sponsors. Dennis, is from the word go. Dennis has developed really, really good relationships with sponsors up here that have stuck with us. It is important. Down south, it can't happen without it. We've Dublin Plumbing and Gas, who basically Dave has stuck with us from the very, very start, and has supported us, and he's still with us. And he plays such an important role in allowing us to put on shows. We've G-Force Fitness, that's another sponsor who's just come on board. He's about to open a massive fitness studio in Dublin 12. And we're constantly looking for for other sponsors to come on and support us. But it's vital, and we don't have TV, and particularly in the south, mainstream boxing fans are non-existent at the moment, because there's no TV, and a lot of the top Irish amateurs now, or the top pros, fight outside of Ireland, so over the last couple of years, the mainstream boxing fan base has shrunk. So it's a vital, and it's something that we're going to look to build on, and try and encourage. First thing is to get this show announced in Dublin. That's the first thing without that, we can't do anything. But working from that, then, looking to encourage, more kind of corporate sponsorship participation within the sports.
Brilliant, Stephen. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Cheers.